Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy Reeves, head blender of Cornell and Diehl Pipe Tobacco Company, and I am here to announce to all of you the upcoming re-release of our small batch 8 State Burley. 8 State Burley is a celebration of old style blends. Might be called codger blends these days, but I think that it's something that takes that concept and brings it into sort of a connoisseur range, into an elevated style blend. We're working with Burley from 2014 and from 2020. Interestingly, we're using some Burley that was actually grown in Guatemala. It is delightfully smooth and mellow on its own. I really love working with this stuff, and it was a great addition to the 8 State Burley recipe this year. We've got 2005 crop year Orientals, some Black Sea Sokum, and Izmir, and we've got a very nice sweetness added by Canadian Bright Virginia and some crop year 22 North Carolina Tips. C&D has been widely associated for a long time with Burley tobacco, and I think that we use interesting tobacco in interesting ways, especially in the Burley camp. Blend like Old Joe Krantz or Haunted Bookshop is sort of an unlikely bestseller, and yet for us it is a bestseller. We do a lot with Burley, and we are proud of our work with Burley. And so for a long time, because of blenders like Bob Ranowski and William Sarad, who contributed to blends that we still make today at C&D, we've got a lot of really great Burley blends. It's sort of rare to see Burley paired up with Oriental, and so this is kind of a way for us to play in a realm where we already are well known, but kind of take it off the beaten path a little bit. Flavor notes, I find mellow, creamy, maybe coffee with a touch of chocolate, a touch of cocoa. I get some floral notes from the Oriental, very, very mellow sweetness. Classic Virginia notes are going to be under there, but the Burley and Oriental are really kind of leading the charge. It fits perfectly with springtime. I think it's not too heavy as a Burley blend, which oftentimes can be the case. I do find that I like blends that are a little more nuanced and a little more complex, particularly in the spring and in the fall. There's just something about those times where I'm actually looking for a lot of minor interplay of different sorts of flavors, and this fits perfectly in this transition from winter into summer. Common wisdom would be that Burleys don't particularly age. The reason for this is because Burleys don't have much sugar, and so there is not much to go through a fermentation process. After the initial curing and sometimes pilone fermentation kind of process that dark Burley in particular goes through, there's just not much sugar left in the leaf, and it's not really a high sugar leaf to begin with. So it's true that Burleys on their own simply just mellow in flavor, but Virginias and Orientals definitely age well. And so when Burley absorbs the flavors of the tobaccos that it is blended with, as well as it does, when those tobaccos with higher sugar content ferment, the Burley sort of goes along for the ride, if you will. I have a number of tins of the original runs of 8 State Burley in my cellar, and I've found that they have aged really nicely and grown in complexity. Those classic sort of fermented Virginia notes come through and are interplaying with the deeper, earthier, and creamy flavors of the Burley. So one to definitely check out after 3 or 5 years. If you like Burley, if you like our style with Burley, if you're a fan of something like Old Joe Krantz or Pegasus, I think this is going to be up your alley. If you are a fan of Carter Hall or Half and Half and are looking for something that sort of is like a fancied up version of a blend like that, this is in your wheelhouse, I think. If you are just getting into pipes and you're kind of learning what things are what, this is an interesting one, and you're not going to find a blend like it very often. It's very rare to see Burleys and Orientals kind of lead the charge in a blend, and particularly the way that these vintage Burleys and vintage Orientals play together. It's just a really wonderful array of aroma and spices across the palate, but also really rich, deep chocolate and nutty notes. This is old school but updated, I would say. So I hope you all enjoy it.